What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Wired Wednesdays. Today I am alone, doing it solo. I look a little orange, and now my audio is playing on this too. So, welcome, everyone. Dave's not able to make it today. He has prior arrangements, so it's going to be us and Bananas and Bitcoin at 90,000. So, what is going on, everyone? Let me say hi to everyone. Vinny Del Greco, I got to get that GPU out to you. I'm going to Melbourne hopefully tomorrow. It might be Friday, depending on Canadian customs. So I'll keep you updated. Travelers Travels, what's up, man? Son of a Rabish, what's going on? Dom G, 10 minutes to midnight. Tonto Bang, Bong Ronto. Automatic Beats, what's up, man? Steven Cicero, I've been talking with your brother-in-law, Steven Cicero. JFA, what's going on? Wofford, there we are. How you doing? Long time no text. Turtle Tech. What is going on, everyone? So Bitcoin's booming. That's what's going on. I figured we start with the chart today since it's been 7 days. It's up a very organic 19% over this past week. So that's just nuts. 75K. Is that what it was 1 week ago to this? I think last stream we were probably saying, wow, 75K. I think it was an all-time high when it hit 75K again. What's up, Chump Change? Max Voltage, what's going on, Max? Yeah, bananas. We can talk more about bananas. And this stream tonight's going to be a little bit all over the place. Don't have too much of an agenda. It's, I mean, this is the hype. Just fell under 90K. But we're going to talk a little bit AI, a little bit tariffs, a little bit my strats, I guess you could say. My secret strats that I do. Which is I am actually buying computer hardware right now. And the reason for that is Trump's election. Not going to talk too much about politics, but I mean, we end up doing it anyways, right? But the reality is with tariffs is the price of consumer electronics are going to go up, right? So my idea is like if I'm going to buy GPUs, if I'm going to buy electronics, specifically like server stuff like Epic boards or anything of that nature, I'm going to buy it now. I'm going to buy it before the new year, and also, you know, taxes. You know, you got to spend money before the end of the year if you want to, you know, have write-offs for this year. But yeah, I am purchasing more GPUs. I am going down the AI route, which I have some stuff we could pull up here. Let me actually share that. Stop screen. Oh, yeah, I am looking red tonight on the... I think it's the colors. I changed it to green because Bitcoin's up, but I got to talk with the other mic about that. Here we go. This is Grafana. This is Vast for anyone watching. Kind of like statistics on Vast, how, you know, GPUs are rented, which types of GPUs are rented, how many are unrented, kind of everything of that nature. So... I always look at stats on, you know, everything that's going on with the rental markets. I am heavily in AI right now. I actually, this last crypto pump, actually right before the pump, I had an exit of some of my holdings in crypto, converted that over to more GPUs, and I am expanding the AI side. I don't really see a drop in demand for AI, right? So like it keeps going up and up. It's a lot different than crypto in that sense. It's you know, I'm not going to go into like a use case for it, but there's someone at the other end of it, right? You're not like mining on a blockchain, competing for it, getting, you know, your percentage of that block reward in a pool and getting it, right? It's you are offering a service to people. There's someone else on the other end of that that's renting your machine, that is more than likely either training a language model or renting it out through a different means. Like if they have like an app that's doing some kind of stable diffusion, text to image, image to image, whichever language model they're doing. And we keep seeing a rise in it. My one thing that I've taken from this in the past couple months is it's very dependent on how many GPUs you have on a machine. Right, like I've done every which machine. I've done 1 card, 2 cards, 4 cards. I've done 5 cards once, and I did 8 cards. So I am going the 8 card route. And that's been doing pretty well on Vast. I certainly have no complaints with all of that. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I did get a 8-card server case in from China, so before the new year. It's an interesting one. It's been in my garage. I've been working on it. I didn't know I had to work on it, but it involves a lot of super glue. Involves motherboard standoffs that kind of work, I guess you could say. So that's going to be an interesting one, but it's an odd case. I could share a little more about it later. It's literally just in pieces in the garage right now because the motherboard sits at the bottom of it, and then on the top you have like 4 on one side and 4 on the other, and then in the middle are just like 5 Delta fans, and then in the back of it are like smaller, I think like 90 millimeter Delta fans. So it actually has the heat from the 4 flowing straight into the other 4 behind it, which doesn't sound great. But it's a Kmart server case. Yes, it is a, what's it called, King? Was it a red light deal? Is that what, or blue light deal? I don't know, one of those Kmart, but it is nice. Has, comes with the redundant PSUs. That's a big thing for me. And I'm just going to test how it works. I did see Max on one of Max's streams. I pointed it out. I think it was setting power limits on this. So that is something I'm going to be looking into. I've talked a lot recently with some of these AI guys that are in the Vast Discord and some of the other Discords, the BitTensor Discord, and kind of their experience with performance and not overclocks, but basically power limits, right? Because like I said before, you're not just mining on a blockchain to compete for a block, and you're like, okay, I can just lower my hash rate and be more efficient, right? And I'll just get less of a reward, but my miner's not on fire. You're providing a service, so it's kind of like, you can't just rent something to someone and say it's something and then kind of gimp it a little bit. It's kind of like giving someone renting a Ferrari out for the day and putting a 50 mile per hour speed limit on it. It's not very fun. So but there is like a sweet medium on it, so I'm probably going to bug you, Max, about that a little bit. If you don't mind, I'll just slide in your DMs. But yeah, it would be nice because what is it, like I can do the math real quick. 84090s is 450 watts each, 33.6 thousand watts. Plus, let's just go 400 to be safe for our overhead on the motherboard and all the Delta fans and everything. 80% of that's 3.2 kilowatts or 3,200 watts. And then so my main goal is I want to fit 2 of these machines, 2 8-card 4090, 2 8-card 450 watt machines, or power limited down 380 watts, 350 watts. We'll see how creative we can get on 130 amp breaker, because it really upsets me not being able to do that. Like every 8-card rig I have now is like, okay, you need a dedicated 30 amp to it, because it's what jumps up to, I've seen them jump up to 19 amps, which, well, that's a 208 at our data center. So yeah, 4,000 watts, 3952. And so it's like just enough that you can't put it on there, and also I know I've talked about this at prior ones. Like I could pull up I have 2 in Melbourne right now, and the highest temp on one's 38 Celsius, the highest temp on the other one's 59. So they honestly don't, like, these higher quantity card machines, in my experience, don't use nearly as much power. It's very minimal. And it's definitely not training models, right? I've had one guy that was definitely training a model or mining crypto or something, because the cards were tapping TDP. But yeah, I think that people are renting these machines. They have like an app, and they're like, hey, this new app makes your face look like a dragon, and you upload your photos and you get 10 photos of Vistang dragon. And so these machines are kind of just like sitting there idle, waiting for a job to come in. And I'm up at the data center often. I'm going to be up there later this week, Thursday or Friday, and you'll see it bump up to 19 amps, then drops down to 2.5, and then it sits there, and then you can kind of hear the fans like kind of kick up with it. So it's interesting. But oh yeah, I've completely ignored the chat. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking we could have been offline this entire time. Max voltage. While I hear what you're saying, my single 4090 GPU. What are you saying? Can I skip all this? Oh, Mrs. Susan Wofford, welcome. Single and dual cards are poo-poo from the Mining Kiing. Yes, they are. I have 2 dual card 4090s. They are less than ideal. Single 4090 GPU rig is making 30 cents an hour. That is amazing, Max. That's good. Yeah, see, once you find like a good renter, it's solid. And I actually had one rig. Let me know anyone in the chat. I'm going to catch up right after this, but I had one 4090 rig that normally it shows like it's either rented or I'm sorry, it's either unrented or it's like orange, right? It shows, or the purple is like how many instances are stored, and then the orange says either like I or D. Like, is it interruptible or is it like on demand? I pulled up my VAST the other day and it was like all R's. And I'm like, do I have to drive up to Melbourne and fix this? That was like the first thing. I was just like pessimistic about it. I'm like, okay, well, what's wrong now? But it was reserved, and I just touched the mic a little too close. It's gonna, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is R? And then I found out it was reserved, and there's like an option when you're like listing your machine on VAST where you have your demand prices, interruptible prices, like a bid price, but then there's also a reserve factor or something. What's it called? I can pull it up. I don't want to flashbang everyone, but let me just pull this up. Yeah, reserved instance pricing factor. For anyone that doesn't know, I didn't know what it was. I always just like left it alone, and it defaulted to 0.4, which means it gives a 40% discount on the machine for long-term rentals. Like, but that's like too. I don't even know how it works, honestly, but I've been noticing the value every day, the earnings on the machine every day have been going down, but it kind of hit like a plateau. And right now, the plateau for me, at least from the normal earnings, is probably about 20% off, but it's gets closer to 40, right? I think that's what it was. Or maybe I changed it and now it's limited to 20. I don't know. That's an interesting thing, but thought I would share that because I did not know what that was. So I went to my other machines right after that and changed it to 0.2, not 0.4. Tonto Bong Ronto, best bang for buck epic board and CPU combo. The H12S LL-I think. I'm not saying that's the best one. A lot of people go with Xeons. They are cheaper, but I have been specifically doing epics and 256 gigs of RAM. You want a lot, like the more, in my opinion, the more GPUs you have on it, that's like more resource heavy for the GPUs. You're going to want more resources across the board. Depends also what platforms you're on. You know, I have 7402Ps. They're epics. They're 24 cores, 48 thread epics, which I like, but they would not be ideal if these machines were being spliced up into 8, because then you know what I mean? Like if you have 8 single card 4090 machines that are being cut up from it, then you have to divide 24 by 8. So you have, 3 cores, on each instance. It's good for VAST. It's not good for others, but I'm a big fan of future-proofing things, right? So that's why I went with those boards. That's why I went with full 4.0 16x lanes. So kind of just depends on, what your setup's going to be. So if you're doing like a single card, consumer grade GPUs or CPUs are more than ample. 4 single 49s on Chlor 3 weeks equals $0. Yeah, that's kind of weird, King. I know you mentioned that before. Like, did they just have a whole bunch of rentals just disappear overnight? And yeah, I know, but you were you're pissed about it. That does suck. That's why I put them on VAST and I kind of just let them ride, right? Like I'm very simple when it comes to stuff like that. It's, if this is my return and it's like, just say I calculate it out with electric and everything, it's like 1 year, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? And if I'm not going to like switch a bunch of platforms trying to get it down to 10 months, because then I'm just going to kind of be chasing my tail on it. So very happy with VAST so far. But do 3070s make money anywhere? I don't know. We could pull that up. It's kind of been here. I'll go back to the VAST stuff because I know there it is. Okay. What was it? 3070s? Is it a Leo still? Oh no, what? Eternity? How do you even pronounce that? Cuckoo cycle is the algorithm. Okay, this sounds like the next Google. Eternity. I don't know what this is. Does anyone know what this? See, this is how I'm just like so like behind on all of this stuff. Kmart server case. Yeah, King, you got it. I'll send you photos of this thing. It was good super glue though. I did use good super glue. I didn't go cheap on the super glue. So what's up, Geek of All Trades? Mr. Jeffkey, what's going on? Sure, reach out. Thanks, Max. I will. I'm gonna bug you about it. I think it's you can reduce the power, wait a while, and see how your DL perf score is affected. Oh, that's what it is. That makes a lot of sense. I guess you can like what? You can run the benchmark then, right? And like kind of re-benchmark your machine and see how it goes. Because I've talked to a couple people in the Discords, and I've seen people go as low as like 350 with it. And if I could do 350 on it, and I could put 2 of these 8-card machines on a 30 amp 208, I will be just happy as a clam. Everything's going to be more expensive. Yes. Tariffs do mean prices go up for consumers. There's a lot of other things, right? There's arguments for both sides of it, but GPUs will be going up in price, which is why I am buying more GPUs now, right? Because it's like, even if I don't use them or don't use the AI epic boards or server cases, like I'll probably be able to sell them for at least what I bought them for. You know what I mean? Just because of where things are going to be in a year. And especially with Trump's policies and what he's done in the past, he uses tariffs as a form of getting what he wants, right? He's done it for the war on drugs. He's done it for national security and making China's economy more weak. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that he uses them for, that anyone uses them for, right? But I think everyone can agree prices will go up, right? That's kind of what we care about, right? Is like, how much is the 5090 going to be? If it was $2,000 and they were going to try to release it at $19.99, it's probably going to be $24.99. But we will see. You set that at 0 on all my rigs, no discounts. Yeah. See, I had no idea what it was, Max, until I saw it, but I put it to 20%, because if I can get a long-term client that's on there that's not really using a whole lot, like I have now, like the guy that's on there my rig is constantly at in the 30s Celsius. I'll give you a 20% discount. You know what I mean? The rental rates are still high enough, and they're kind of like in my tolerance of like, you know, is it worth it to keep the money in here? Is it worth it to keep it running? So 20% I'll do. I'm that way with like selling stuff too. Like I will always sell things for like way cheaper if I can avoid eBay, because I like eBay takes like 15%, and then you're probably going to get like a chargeback or something. So if it's like cash or crypto, I always offer like, you know, whatever the eBay listing price is, I usually offer around 30% off on that. What's up, Hawk? Sup, losers? Thanks, Hawk. You're motivational tonight. I'm so far behind in the chat. Let me get here. Oh, no, I'm not too far behind. Billy the Kid, what's up, man? I know nothing. What's going on? Where's the cable guy? Dave is out tonight. He had some things come up. Not like last-minute things. He's doing fine, but Eternity. How do you pronounce this? Like, are we gonna? Let's do another pronunciation class tonight. Capitulation. Remember that? Like that word will never get out of my head after that stream. It won't get more expensive. It actually makes the dollar value go up. That's Mad Investor. That's kind of like the theory behind it, but it makes the dollar stronger. It weakens some of the larger economies. It diversifies trade, and what's the best term? It pushes manufacturing and everything here. It makes companies want to invest more in the United States, right? And putting it here because there's gonna, whatever the cheap labor or whatever, you know, having no emission standards or EPA or anything in these other countries, it helps offset the manufacturing costs over here, the labor costs and all of that. So there's a lot of different theories to it, but yeah, I do agree that tariffs in the right put in the right way, can increase the value of the dollar, make it globally worth more. I do agree, but things will get more expensive. Things did get more expensive. So I experienced a little bit of that with GPURisers, with tariffs and everything. GPURisers, there was a leak that all 40 series chips are no longer being produced to make more room for 50 series. I predict 5090 to $22.99 for FE. I agree with you, Max. 100%. 100%. I did read that the 40 series are no longer being produced. That's why I'm actually that's what I bought. I bought a lot more 4090s. I got them for a price point that is fair. And it's a trustworthy person, kind of know where they're coming from. They are stuck in Canada customs, so that's another thing. But hopefully I'll get them tomorrow. We'll see. I had to call them and give them my social, so let's just hope to God that was actually UPS that I talked to, or else my identity is going to be stolen. So that would be a fun stream next week for everyone. But yeah, I think the 50 series is going to the 5090 I think is going to be an absolute powerhouse, and I think the price point's going to come with it. So I kind of, like for instance the 3090, right? Like when did Ethereum merge now? I don't know, it feels like 10 years. I've definitely aged 10 years in the past 3 years, but that was a really good buy. The 3090 is still a great card for AI. It runs tons of text-to-text and text-to-image language models. It does all of them very well. So the future value of that back when Ethereum merged, because I remember selling, I offloaded, I don't know, I must have had like 24 to 3090s, and I think I offloaded them all 3 years ago for like 800, like around that. And what, they're still going for like 600 to 800 now. I mean, that's crazy. And I kind of see the market with the 4090 being like that too, right? Like I've heard some people in the AI realm like, oh, just wait for 5090s, and all that. But how are you going to get 8 5090s at once? Or are you going to start with, I could throw one 5090 in this machine right here. This is my test bench. It has an Epic in there, has all the fun stuff. And if I get a 5090, I'm going to throw it in there. But then what? You just, every time you scratch and claw to get one, and you just add it. I mean, that is something that I've thought of doing, but it's not like if you have X amount that you want to invest right now, and the 5090 comes out, and you just go to Amazon or Newegg, and you're like, okay, I'll add 8 to the cart, and then I'll just pop up a machine, and it'll be great. We'll all make a lot of money and dance around the fire. It's not going to be like that. It's never been like that. The 3000 series was not like that. The 2000 series was not like that. Even when the 2000 series came out prior to, that last bull run with ETH in 2016, was that no, that was 2020, the 2000 series, or 2019, somewhere around there. It was difficult to buy a lot of them. So I think the 4090s are for sure going to last. I think that because of the next administration and the tariffs that are imposed, it's going to increase the price of all the used market and all of the new market. So that's kind of where my head is with all of this. So eBay hates freedom. Fuck eBay. Yeah, I agree. I have had a long stint with eBay. Let's just say me and eBay are, let's just say eBay doesn't know who I am. Let's put it that way. I remember the giveaway stream. Yeah, that was a good one, Billy. It's the giveaway. Yeah, I have 2 more giveaway things that I got to give. Actually, Billy mentioned the GPU to Vinny. I got to get that this week, and then the Omega frame I got to give. I did send out Dave's cables, veteran miner cables. So is the 5090 going to look just like the 4090 and 3090? Probably. The 5090 is probably going to look very similar to the 3000 and 4000. Which, I mean, can you really beat the styling on it? I mean, aesthetically it looks pleasing. Let's see. It depends on how the tariffs are implemented. Many companies that manufacture in the USA will see their costs go up because their parts come from China. Yeah, and all the AIBs. I mean, they have all these other things that go up because of their costs. Just because the silicon might not be coming from China doesn't mean that China's like not involved in the supply chain of it, right? And So there's just a lot of factors. It's but my opinion is that it's definitely not going to decrease the cost of the cards. I think Nvidia is not just, they don't just make the best card. They don't have a competitor at this point. I know that's going to piss off AMD people, but you know, if you're just playing straight games or something like that, then yes. But like in the world of AI and especially in the world of everyone in the chat, like whether it's ETH mine or not ETH mining, whether it's crypto mining, AI rentals, whatever it is, like all of us kind of think at the back of our heads, like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if I got this nice graphics card and I could pay it off. You know what I mean? So the reason I'm saying that is Nvidia kind of has that market, right? Like you're not going to buy a high-end AMD card to rent out on AI and try to pay off. But if that makes sense. This incentivizes companies to move manufacturing to Southeast Asia or Mexico where the parts are not tariffed. Yeah, but it also it's supposed to incentivize them to move it here to the US, but yes, it does go to other places a lot, like India and stuff like that, Max. But yeah, you're 100% right. Hopefully it incentivizes some manufacturing to come here. I have had personal friends that worked in manufacturing, mostly like I'm gonna just say broad things, but it's like fabrication, like steel fab and stuff like that. They outsourced a lot of that with the last tariffs, and some of them, whether it affected them or not, they did make some decisions and company decisions to open up the manufacturing here. But you're right. I mean, it's these companies, it's a capital market, right? Like you're going to look and see where it is cheapest to do it. So I kind of have a tinfoil hat theory. This is also like a big move to weaken China's economy and move it over to countries that aren't communist. But 32 gigs of RAM, yeah, that's what the 5090 is supposed to be. Terra are a bargaining tool to bring them back to the US, not anywhere else. No, I mean, it is that in theory that's what it's supposed to do, but they will go to other places. I mean, they went to Mexico, they went to India. I think India is going to be a big one. I mean, it is now, but your 39s are never getting sold. Do you mean like you're never selling them, or you're trying to sell them and they're not selling? 3090 Ti, Yusuf, what's up, man? Good to see you again, Yusuf. I actually had a 3090 Ti for the Win 3. I got, it's weird seeing EVGA again. They've been out of the game for not a while, but you know, the 4000 series, that was a good looking card. For the Win 3. It's actually funny when I sold it to upgrade to a 4090 when I was redoing my computer, and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, you know, the 4090s are like, what the founders were, I think $1,500 or $1,600. I was like, that's a lot to bite off. And so I kept with my 3090 Ti for a while, and then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just do it. You know, maybe the card's still worth like, you know, $600 or something. Let me go look it up. And because it was an EVGA 3090 Ti, like for the Win, it was like their last flagship one. I sold that card for like $1,200, and I upgraded for like $400. It was sick. Mr. Geek of all trades, what's up, man? What is it with you and dancing around a fire, Yippee? I mean, have you never had some whiskey and danced around a fire, goat? It's kind of fun. Put a little Southern rock on, you know, a little Kings of Leon. You crack out the Jack Daniels, and then you sleep on the ground, wake up, and feel horrible. It's a lot of fun. I got my founder's 3090 Ti for doing a small job. Cracked a password. Oh, that's pretty cool. I hope eBay doesn't find out I made my account when I was 13. Yeah, eBay's actually been better recently. And the only reason I say that is they integrated the payments in eBay, so I do like that. But man, anything like high dollar value, I'll never sell on eBay. Never do it. Octominer still has access to 4090s. Yeah, but they are the China boo-boo ones. I mean, they're fine, right? They're the 4090Ds, they're turbos, but again, you know, like I always think like I always pay more for GPU. I like, you know, any GPU that I was mining with, I would always pay more, right? Like if I had an option to buy an EVGA XC3 or for the Win 3, I would always pay a little bit more for it, even though the hash rate's the same, because of just resale value. I always, like, I don't have any old cards. I always buy and sell constantly. Every year, I'm kind of like cycling through a lot of them. So it's why I'm saying that, King, is the 4090Ds will, in my opinion, be worth less than the regular AIB consumer ones that you could buy here in the States. But yeah, I mean, but like I said, also 4090s are going to be the new 3090s. Like they're not going to go anywhere with AI. Like by the time you're looking at resale value and it's not profitable with electric or whatever it is, I mean, it's gonna, in my opinion, gonna be years and years and years. Like, so I think you're good on those. Max Wilgers, 2018 through 2022, U.S. goods imported declined by 10% from China in inflation-adjusted terms, but they rose 18% from Mexico, by 44% from India, and by 65% from 10 other countries of the, what is that, Asian? I know that's not how you say Asian. ASEAN, what is that, the, I don't know what that is, but I assume it's like a group. Yeah, India's in there. Those, you got a lot of numbers there, Max. Let me read that again. U.S. goods imports declined by 10% from China in inflation-adjusted terms. Yeah, so I guess that made the case, right? So Trump wanted not less trade, but the idea that he had behind it kind of made sense. It took trade away from China, made other countries stronger. That's kind of my tinfoil hat theory with it. It's not just a economic play. It's not just trying to bring steel jobs here to the U.S. and bring all these, in manufacturing here. It's also to crumble the Communist Party. But who knows? Who knows? Rockham has made huge strides in the next gen's 2025. Yeah, I mean they are. They're getting there, King. I know your team red. They are doing a lot, right? Devo rule everything. Yeah, it's Hey, I hope so, man. Competition brings innovation. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest thing. Having as much as I like Nvidia, I even made my orb the same color as it. It can't get comfortable. Intel got so comfortable over like a decade, and they just released the same garbage to us for a decade. Oh, this one's a 6700K, 7700K, Ice Lake, something Lake, Green Lake. I don't even know what they were anymore, but it's the same crap year over year. And then AMD's over in the corner, building a master plan, and it comes in and just demolishes them. Now, like Intel's like in just chaos right now. Oh, here we go. Trump has stated that he will try and stop companies from going to Mexico and other countries. He will still apply tariffs to the companies wherever they go. He wants them. Yeah, of course he wants them in the U.S. Yeah, I agree. But I think he just plays like that, right? Like where he'll apply the tariffs to them, but then you're saying apply tariffs to the company wherever they go. But there's so many ways around that. But what I was going to get to is that he makes these deals with countries where he'll say, oh, well, maybe we won't apply these tariffs. Or instead of 20%, maybe we'll do 10%, but you got to do this for me. He's like one of those guys, which I kind of like that style. You know what I mean? Like that's what he did with China with the fentanyl stuff. He was like, hey, I won't be as aggressive with you, but you guys have to be more on top of like all of your, breaking bad labs that you have, hanging out in Shenzhen. So I wasn't there, but it's a nice place. But a lot of the drugs came from there to Mexico and then to the United States. And that's how he used them. And I like that. I like that style. But we got to see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Rico, what's up, man? See you later, maybe. Have a good night, Rico. I believe these are not Turbo Ds. Oh, interesting. I guess you'll find out for me. Yeah, I'll take it apart. I'll take all of the graphics cards apart for you, King, and I'll take pictures of all the PCBs. I'll take every piece off. Crypto Frank, what's up, man? It's only you tonight. Yes, Dave had to attend some other matters, but he's doing fine. Nothing wrong with Dave. So it's just me tonight, just talking about. We didn't even do the 3070. I'm staring at the 3070, but yeah. What was this called again? Mike or Hawk, I remember said this. Eternity, eternity. But Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Southeast Asian Nation, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. That sounds like a band. Numbers from Boston Consulting Group, Association of Southeast Asian Nations is a group of Southeast Asian countries. Okay. My point is that Trump's previous tariffs didn't bring manufacturing jobs to the USA. I think it brought a little bit. I saw it. I don't know number. I didn't dive into this, but I did have a friend that worked for a very large manufacturing company, and they did, whether it was cheaper for the company to do this or not, they did invest in more manufacturing over here, and they did bring over here. There's Mike pumping his chest about liberal numbers. But yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But they will, in my opinion, prices are going to go up. They are going to go up. So it's just, it's what it is. So that's why I'm kind of buying stuff now, right? Even if it doesn't pan out, or I don't want to do the project, at least I got it beforehand, right? And the 5090s are going to be, in my opinion, an absolute disaster to get. It's going to be brutal. I have some buddies that are into like the whole, getting alerts whenever things are in stock and this and that. And I mean, no matter how many accounts you make or what you do, I mean, you get limited by address, name, credit cards. It's like, it's hard. And it was hard in, the 3000 series, and the 4000 series is going to be, or I'm sorry, it was hard in the 3000 series. It was horrible in the 4000 series, and it's going to be just as bad. But yeah, Kyle Rosa, what's up, bro? Sitcom writes itself, exactly, right? It's just one big, what was that? There's a documentary on it, but it was, can't remember what it was called, The Circus or something. But it is crazy. GPURiser, check the bottom of all the bottom of everything in your house says made in China. Oh, 100%. Yeah, everything. Even Grogu's made in China. Everyone thought he was on an alien planet. Nope. I was surprised. He's from China too. Idiocracy. No, it wasn't that. It was like an HBO documentary series, I think, on Trump's 2016 campaign, but it was like called the Circus or something. It was funny. Looking back at it, how crazy everything is right now. Deflation is coming. You will see. I don't know. I disagree, Mad Investor. I think it'll be a sense, like an illusion of deflation, because inflation was so rapid for so long. And I think that they just kind of slowed it, or not slowed it, that they underplayed how rapid it was. So now they're going to be tailoring it back, lowering interest rates, saying that they have it under control and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think that that's going to be deflation. Currencies don't really deflate. They do if it's like, Venezuela, or if it's Zimbabwe or something like that. But GPURisers, so you think it was smart to buy 264090s on my part, or no? LOL, you're my financial advisor. I think it was smart. 264090s crypto, Frank. I think the best investment you can make right now in GPU mining, ASIC mining, AI, or whatever it is, where if you're going to put money in it, it's AI. It's a lot more complicated, but luckily the Mining Kiing makes detailed videos, and if he doesn't have a video on it, you could just text him 24/7, 365, or call him. He likes calls mostly at night, middle of the night. Yeah, I think AI is kind of, or AI rentals, right? Like, it's not like I'm running language models on these things, but that's where I am with it. I like the idea of 4090s. It consolidates it. I've had a GPU farm with over 220 GPUs. I've had consolidated rigs of just 3090s, or 2080 Ti's, 1080 Ti's. Everything all between. The AI stuff I like, because the price per square foot for the machines are very high, but the resale value on them are very high as well, in my opinion. So the risk to reward ratio is attractive. And yeah, I mean, you look at this compared to like some of the ASIC miners, right? And you're like, oh, well, why would I choose something that's a year ROI when I could get this, machine that ROIs and makes this much today, but it's based on a blockchain that has difficulty and how many people go online. And if it breaks, you got to wait months and months and deal with a company that is, basically the Chinese Communist Party. Or you can get it repaired here, but then it costs more money, and then you're down, and the machine's getting old, and they depreciate like no other. So yeah. Long story short, Mining Kiing, I think you made a good choice. I'm investing in more 4090s as well, so I think that's good. Yeah, HBO series The Circus. Yeah, Vinny, it was funny. It was funny. Nvidia should do what Porsche did and just raise the price 33% to eliminate secondary markets. Yeah, they'll get hit pretty hard for that, but I think that they've been trying to do that. I know AIBs like MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, and EVGA actually was really good about pricing, but I know other companies started doing that as well. But they have to keep it somewhat normal. You know what I mean? That's the reality of this. It's really, really difficult to bite off, $2,000+ for a GPU where you can get an Xbox for 500 or PS5 for 500, or they're worth 400 now, I think. It's difficult. Unless you can use that GPU to make money, then it's not just a gaming card or a console, it's a passive income, and you can use it for both, right? Yusuf puts BTC 100K coming, you will see. I think 100% Yusuf. I agree with you 100%. The red wave in Washington is somehow going to spend less money. What do you mean? The red wave in Washington is somehow going to spend less money? I don't know. The right side or the left side doesn't matter. Government always spends way too much money. You get government contracts. That's why everyone wants government contracts. You can tell them, hey, yeah, we have this computer from 2008, and we can put a virtual machine on it, and they'll be like, how much is it? And we could just say it's $5,000 a month. It's encrypted, and they would be like, where do I send the money? You're lucky I'm not your financial advisor, King. You would get lashes for that. Yeah, it's that's the thing, is I kind of have all my investments in crypto, and the AI investments that I made were the same investments that I had in crypto, the same investments that I had in equipment for crypto, GPUs, and all of that, right? So I sold off some GPUs, did that. I had a good amount in just crypto, right? I was just holding crypto. And so you're looking at this stuff and you're like, okay, well, this coin could go up or it could go down. And you don't know at the end of the day. You know if you sell it, it's going to go up. But you know if you keep it, it's going to go down or it's going to go sideways. So using that logic from experience, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to cash out everything, right? But I'm going to take some off and I'm going to water the grass where it's growing. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. So, if crypto shoots up, and it has, I mean, Bitcoin's been going crazy. The alts haven't been having much luck or love. But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends, right? I'm definitely not moving, my 401k into it. I'm definitely not cashing out. Like, I don't have any real estate or any other than the house, but I'm not moving from different pots to that. It's still all kind of the same pot. I'm just taking it out from more speculative price forecasts, which, let's be real, the forecasts are kind of all bullshit, right? Like, if CAS is going to be 30 cents, like, is it? What were their earnings last quarter? You know what I mean? Like, no one really knows. And I like equipment, because equipment you can depreciate and you can write off on your taxes because it's a business. So, if I sold a bunch of equipment, that I have to recapture that on taxes, and then why not buy something more with it? Because then I have to pay taxes on anything that I already wrote off by recapturing it. I don't like doing that. The IRS is like the I don't want to say Taliban, but you guys know what I mean. Vinny Del Greco, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. That will be interesting. I'm excited to see how that works. But got a couple on Best Buy credit card, 0% interest. Yeah, I've done that before, King. I bought a couple on the 0 interest. Amazon does that too. The problem with it that I don't like, and it's the same thing with Best Buy, right? Like, you have, I know I'm kind of ranting tonight, so I don't have Dave here next to me telling me to shut up, but if you buy it on Best Buy, you can get 0% interest. But if you don't opt for that, just like on Amazon, you get 5% back, right, with like their Chase Amazon card. If you do the 0% interest, you don't get that 5%. So let's just say you're buying a $2,000 GPU, you could really get it for $1,900 if you buy it with cash. But if you finance it, you're getting it for $2,000. So in my head, you're still paying interest on it. You know what I mean? Although it's low and it's good, you could be getting it cheaper for right now. You know what I mean? Sold all my crypto, Mining Kiing. But I mean, you're doing other projects. You got a lot. You're crypto broke, but you're equipment heavy. Let's put it that way. GPURisers, you can't go wrong always buying the best GPUs. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely eaten it on some. Sold too soon. I definitely haven't timed everything, perfectly. But I'd rather have one 4090 running in a machine than four, 4060 Ti's or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the consolidation of it is a big fan. Vinny and Hawk. Okay, you guys should go on a debate. So tell me intelligently what you believe the annual deficit will be in the new administration. Oh, let's go through this. Oh, who knows? Even if they cut everything to the bone, you won't see it. Yeah, the deficit is going to continue to go up 100%. The military industrial complex will continue to make a lot of money. Invest in Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, L3 Harris, maybe Boeing. I don't know. Did anyone see Spirit tank 50% today? There were some good memes on that. We take in $4 trillion in taxes and spend $6 trillion annually. That's government math, Vinny. They're thinking big. The big brains in Washington D.C. All branches of government will rubber stamp all things new administration wants. Yeah. But that's the thing, right? Like if our deficit continues to go up and the dollar gets stronger, does that outweigh it? Who knows? It's never been done before. Or government efficiency. Yeah, I mean, as much as I think it's cool, like Elon, and I'm not really a big fan of Vivek. He kind of seems like a plant, you know what I mean? Like kind of like Buttigieg. Like they look like they're planted there by like the Republican committee or like the DNC. It seems like a cool idea. But let's see how it plays out. But yeah, that has never been done before. You're right, Mike. That it'll be fun to see. I'm excited because it was just such a it was always funny watching the news during Trump's administration forever. Like it will never not be funny seeing Trump there with Kim Jong-un and he's sitting there just like, telling everyone like, make sure you get good photos. We look nice and thin. And Kim Jong-un's just like standing in the corner with like the most serious haircut I've ever seen. And we just don't get stuff like that anymore. You know what I mean? It's not crazy stuff. But granted, Biden, it's hard for him to, lift a glass of water. So like, how would he go across the DMZ zone over North Korea? But I am fun because it's like Vinny, I think you mentioned it. It's called the circus. I think that was you that said it. It's just crazy. So I am excited for just the show. I just want to. That's why I know some people get upset with politics and stuff like that, and whoever wins or whoever loses. But just in my head, it's like sit back and just watch a show, right? Like one thing I've kind of picked up since probably 2016, 2020, is that it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You wake up the next day, you go to work, you do like all these things that the news tells you. It's going to affect your life. It's going to change this. Go out and vote, or you're going to have to get a doomsday bunker, or Putin's going to come over here and, pour vodka in your eyes. Like it's just, none of it really ever happens. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really affect you. Things that affect you most are going to be like at the highest level, probably like state, you know what I mean? Control your own house. You know what I mean? It's, that's just how it is. So Elon, Trump going to trim all the fat off. Yeah. I mean, Elon must be like rolling in it right now. You know what I mean? With all the red tape that's going to be cut, which on one end, the left is probably like, why does this billionaire need more money? And Elon's probably going to be the first trillionaire. So, I mean, that's crazy. But what I'm excited through that whole thing is just the space exploration, the money that's going to, since space has been privatized and commercial, like just like not commercial flight, but once like this is commercialized and like Elon is doing with SpaceX, is one of his companies, It breeds, again, competition breeds innovation. You have Blue Origin with Bezos. You have, I don't know, whatever that other guy is, what, Virgin Atlantic, I think is the other one. You have all these people competing for this stuff, and it's so exciting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so excited about like the space race that's going to be here, the AI race that's here. It's all going to just like, with the red tape cut, I think that there's going to be big things in the space industry coming up. I'm super, super excited for that. So GPURisers, you sell and I'll buy, we split the winnings. Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's what I'll do is I won't sell any crypto until I go on a live stream, and then we can all do it together. I'll click sell, and then we can just watch the red candles come in and just watch it tank. I believe Musk will make an impact. What size impact? No one. Yeah, I mean, again, Mike, let's just watch the show. You know what I mean? Susan Wofford, love my GPURisers Yeti merch. Yeah, I do too. Look at this one. I think I showed you this one, Susan. I should get one of these marked with GPURisers, a half gallon. Jack convinced me to get one. He has the gallon, but that thing weighs a lot. But I got the half gallon. I do like it. I invested in Berkshire Hathaway. I'm up 35% year to date. Smart man and mad investor. You're not a mad investor. You're a smart investor. They will inflate the dollar, so debt is easier to pay off for them. Yeah, exactly. That's Tonto. That's a good point. That's a good point. I've heard this before. That's the thing is, it's like there's so many ways it can go, and you can speculate. But the reality is like if you're arguing one way or the other with tariffs, you're arguing theories that on things that haven't been implemented yet. That's what theories are. But you're arguing sides of something that hasn't happened because you don't know how he's going to do it. Saying the word tariff and how they're implemented can vastly change things. You know what I mean? Like if it's a 5% tariff, it's not really going to affect anything. If it's a 60% tariff, I'm glad I bought 4090s. So there's so much. What I'm going to do as like, you know, a more educated voter, a more down to earth person, I feel more just rational about all this stuff, is I'm going to look at everything where it is right now in 2024. And over the next couple of years, I'm going to see how this affects my life, right? Like parties aside, whether they allow like, you know, transgender polar bears in the zoo or not, like I don't care. But if I go to Publix and my eggs are expensive, and if I have to buy some, you know, Gucci eggs that are $12 just so that I'm not, you know, poisoned or something like that, then I know things aren't going good. You know what I mean? And when I go to grocery stores now, I have to buy these Gucci eggs. You know what I mean? And they're ridiculously expensive. And things are just expensive. Milk, everything's expensive. So what affects me? You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to look at in this the next couple of years. Is it easier to buy a car? Is it easier to get a loan? Is it easier to, how does the housing market look? You know, and things of that nature. Credit card debt, you know, like what's the national credit card debt is, I think, still an all-time high, which you have to adjust for inflation, of course, and all that fun stuff. Bananas are expensive. Bananas have been going down though. So that's what I'm going to do. At least I'm going to, like, what affects my household? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like if the left one and they're like, oh, they're going to come take your guns. No, they're not. No one's going to walk into your house and be like, you need, like, to tell the guy that you're going to take their guns from, you need to give me your gun. No one, that's not happening. So it's like, what actually affects me? You know what I mean? Or like what affects you personally, you know? And a lot of it comes down to like local stuff. You know what I mean? But there are some big stuff. There's some big stuff. Eggs are not just local. Orange juice maybe in Florida here, but the Patriot games will be interesting. Whole year party. Yeah, is that yeah, I know what that is. The parade stuff. It'll be interesting. It's a show. It's a show. I don't think Musk is a plant. When he told the leftists go fuck yourself, he meant it. No, I don't think Musk is a plant. I think Musk is here. I'll give my opinion on Musk. Elon Musk is brilliant. He has accelerated the space program and by privatizing it pretty much. He has done so much. The electric cars, I don't really care. I mean, it's cool. You know, that he's done a lot with manufacturing. Neuralink is crazy cool. I like the idea with X and all of that. You know, everything he's done with Twitter. But he is a billionaire, and he is going to get a lot more rich because of all this stuff. And he's going to be doing more with it, and he might be doing a lot of philanthropy with it. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's a plant. But Musk is playing both sides 100%. Then they call you a cancer and stuff like that. Talk about echo chambers. Mike, you're on a roll today. Competition breeds innovation. Travelers travels 100%. GPURisers still sharing your screen. Yeah, I am sharing my screen. Let me switch this, goat. See, look. This is what happens when I'm... See, this is what... This could be an echo chamber, right? I don't even know if the stream was on. Let's see. I'll switch it back over to past. Let me catch up on these. That's how you know deflation is coming. Asset prices are going down. What do you mean, Mad Investor? Which assets? Are you mean that they're not going up in price as much, or you just mean like asset? Like, what do you mean by assets? Listening while driving. What's up, Golden Wolf? Thank you for stopping by. We have 66 people watching tonight. We have 41 on YouTube, 25 on Twitter. I was just talking about Twitter. Just talking about X. Very cool. See, I didn't even really have Twitter before Elon. I did have it just because when I started GPURisers, I started noticing. I got a message from someone, I think on like an email with Reddit, and it was basically like, it's like extortion almost. It was like, hey, like, I have a subreddit for you, and I have this, and like it was like a whole bunch of different platforms, and they're like, oh, I reserved it for you for this much money, and I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I started getting GPURisers stuff, all these random things. Hawk. What is that? Mist is the new AI meme. Check it out. I'll check it out. Hawk's gonna check it out. Everyone likes a good. Is it a meme coin? Did I just hear Gucci eggs? Yes, Gucci eggs. They have like a little design on them and stuff, and they come in a nice bag, and they have like chickens on the top that are like laughing in a field. Like it's like a giant. It's a football field for every chicken. They just lay eggs everywhere, and they're all happy. At least gas prices are down. Yeah, gas prices have been going down. What about Gucci bananas? I'm still waiting, Turtle Tech. Every day I'm lined up. Sounds like something Bond would be hunting down. But let's see here. Let me scroll down. Hey, chat. Not James. What's up, man? Hell with that. Bitcoin's at 90K. I'm going for Louis Vuitton eggs. I deserve it. Yeah. It's crazy. It's rising tides raises all ships. That's, I guess, the saying, right? But I have not seen alts perform as well as actually, let me switch it. Let's go look at a couple alts. It's 9:20. I'm gonna go probably another 10 minutes here. Share screen. Bitcoin. Let's do this. What's Flux up to? 57 cents. It's up 4% in the month. Yeah, see, Flux hasn't been... It's alts. They're also at 249. Let me just go to ranking. Let's go. You know what? Let's go 7-day. Oh, this is going to bring a whole bunch of crap up here. Peanut the squirrel. Someone was just talking about that. Who was talking about Peanut? Where are you? Someone was talking about Peanut the squirrel. Anything interesting in the industry you want to dig more into? I guess in the... I do... There is the Tau project, BitTensor. I do want to dig into more. It's extremely complicated for me, at least. I know some people probably watching this have looked into it. They mine on it. But from my understanding, I want to spend just like a day on BitTensor, but it kind of combines crypto mining and AI. And from my understanding, they have different subnets that are for different things, right? Like they'll have a real estate one, and they train... I'm going to use this loosely, but they train models using like real estate data, right? Like home prices, this, that, and then they create forecasts, and then they sell that data. But then you mining on these subnets, again, I'm probably getting a roast in the chat for this, but I'm trying to explain it the best I can. you compete on the bias on these. So like you're looking for the bias in AI, which I think is kind of cool, because right now you just type in ChatGPT and you're like, is this medicine safe to take? I'm just using an example, but like it gives you kind of an answer, and you're like, okay, well, was this was this AI trained using biased material? You know what I mean? So I'm interested to look into AI biases and see where that goes. And that's what I like also about all these like billionaires competing against each other, right? Like it's kind of fun. They got the rockets, that's cool. Now they're gonna have the AI with the robots, that's cool. So they have the money to do it, and they're just like, it's like a big contest with these dudes. So I want to dig into that, though. I think that's going to be like kind of a cool industry, is the comparison between different language models. If there is a bias, why is there a bias? Like we all know, like, if you Google something and you're like, who's Donald Trump, right? Like you're going to have articles that say he's the next Messiah, and then you're going to have articles saying he's Hitler. So, but you don't know if that language model is trained on which side of that, or is it trained on both, and it's using both information depending on what you input and stuff. So I think BitTensor does a little bit of that on a very, again, this is like 10,000 foot level. Don't roast me too much on it, but I do want to look into that stuff. I think that's very interesting, and I think that finding biases in language models that are trained by all the big guys and the small guys, everything, the compute needed to find biases, I think, is going to be a larger demand than actually training the language models, if that makes sense. I think that there's going to be a whole nother hunt for that. I think that's pretty cool. And also, I think privatized language models, I really, really want to get into. I'm just going to hit up Retro Mike, I think, for this one. But like personalized language models, I want to, because I've looked into this also. I know I'm ranting, but this is a good question, Billy. I would love like a Jarvis style AI where it's trained on everything. I know people are going to hate this, but like it watches everything I do on my computer. It watches how I write emails. It goes through my OneDrive. It sees all the crap I wrote in college, all the legal crap I wrote, and it gets an idea of me, and it learns me, right? So it would be more, like when I ask it questions and stuff like that, it would be more kind of related to my thought process and explained how I would do it. Or if it's writing something for me or putting something together, it would be more geared towards me. I know that that's kind of a field that's coming. I think that's really cool, kind of creepy, but I also think it'd be I think we're going to see that in the next 5 to 10 years. We're going to see language models that are trained on people. I think it was Steve Jobs was talking about, he was talking about something about AI like a long time ago, but it was Aristotle, and it was like he I guess read a lot of Aristotle, right? Like a lot of the philosophy and everything like that. But it was like, what if you could talk to Aristotle today, right? Like, what if there was a language model from all these people in the past, or people that are alive right now, and they're trained on this stuff? And the answer that you're getting from the language model, it's not like words from their mouth or anything, but it's trained on a lifetime worth of data from this person. So it might be a thought, or if that thought might be kind of geared towards, or not that thought, but that answer that these language models are giving are trained on past answers and everything, and viewpoints of these people and everything. So I don't know if that makes sense. That's a whole nother, we could have another fireside chat with some bourbon on that one. But I think we're going to see a lot of that. You know what I mean? I think people that are alive today are going to have AIs that train them. I think, people like Bill Gates and stuff like that will have, I'm definitely not going to say life after death, but they will have models trained of these people that will be able to give, honestly, like good input on things, like a board position in a company. Like it'll be able to have all the data in front of it and give a decision as if the person's there, to like, obviously not 100%, but like a 99.9%. So I know I went on a rant for that for a little bit, but just exciting stuff, guys. Now you guys know what I do when I'm walking around my pool talking about or thinking about. I actually talk to AI like a lot of the days. not like in a weird way, just like 10 minutes. I go on walks and stuff like that and spend like 10 minutes talking to ChatGPT, and it's interesting. It's scary. It's how good it is, but you can just talk to it, knock business ideas off of it, and it's great. It's great. Yes, alts have not gone up as much as BTC, but this is normal. Check the last bull run. That's the idea, Max. I agree with you. It should kind of mellow out, and then alts should jump, hopefully, right? I mean, AI was trained on MSNBC. Yeah, that's the problem. You don't know what these things are trained on. So that's why I think the massive, like, huge amounts of compute are going to come from, like, it's not just going to be this language model that needs to compute. This language model is going to invest 5 times the compute of that to find the biases in these other ones. And I think they're doing that now. That's my big bag. Pepe Turbo. Dog with hat is up. Dog with hat is worth $4.2 billion. See, that's where some of these things lose me. Check movie 1 hour photo. What is that one? 1 hour photo. I'll look it up. Only if Tom Cruise can save us. Exactly, Vinny. Do you see that new trailer for Mission Impossible? That has me pumped. I'm going to buy everyone's YouTube channel once I hit 5 million. Yusuf, hit me up first. Once you hit 5 million, hit me up first before you hit everyone up. I'll sell it to you. I got a good deal. Do you show a Steve Jobs investor meeting presentation, or do you give it all his emails and texts? Everything. That's kind of my idea on it, is like you literally just give it like as much information as possible. That's why I said it reads everything you do. Like it would be watching the stream, watches my YouTube channel, watches all the videos that I've made, reads all the documents that I had. Like, very invasive, right? It's kind of like, it's like almost like installing a camera in your house. Like, you would have to be comfortable. A lot of people won't be comfortable with that, just like they wouldn't with Neuralink, having a chip in your brain that's proprietary. But I think I would be okay with that. I think I would be okay with like an AI that's trained on me to be able to complete tasks and answer things that would be, that I could kind of like oversee, you know what I mean? Like, in a weird way. Not that I need that right now. Like, I don't need that, but I think it would be cool to start compiling and building a language model that's learns as you go. You know what I mean? And I really think the after death aspect of it is very cool. I'm sure everyone watching this would love if they could still talk to someone that might not be here. And even if it's an AI that only has 99.9% accuracy or 99% accuracy, but you could ask that AI, like, hey, this point in your life, how did you feel, or why did you do this, or why did you do that? Or it would be able to formulate and give you like the guidance that you might not be getting now because they're not here. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too deep into that, but I think it's interesting. I think that's going to be a huge market. Steve Mint, you got to know the rotations to make the best results on bull runs. Yeah. Be more stupid. Crypto is a joke, literally. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is. Bitcoin is pumping, though. Bitcoin is here. Someone invests $16.51 in Peanut and pulled out $3 million. Yeah, I mean, people make a lot of money, but it's usually the ones that you only see that, right? You don't see all the people that, to make the 3 million, other people had to buy that, right? Like, for him to turn that into 3 million that he can withdraw, that means there's $3 million out there that bought into this, right? GPURisers, new AI project that scales from 4 to 24 gigabyte and scales at different intervals. Tempe AI nodes. I did see a video on that. Was that one of your videos, King? I did see something about Tempe nodes. I'll look into that though. Crow 81% weak. Yeah. Crypto.com's doing great. But yeah, check out the movie The Final Cut. You got a couple movie recommendations here. What? 1 hour photo and The Final Cut. Here, let's see. 1 hour photo. What is this? 2000. Oh, Robin Williams. Okay. I just watched with my fiance. Me and her watched Good Will Hunting the other. It was like probably a month ago at this point, but they just don't make movies like they used to. All these movies are like, it's just too much. It's just too much. The final cut. Let's see here. 2004. The final cut movie. Robin Williams. Okay, you got 2 Robin Williams movies here. I like it. I'm gonna save these. But yeah, watch Good Will Hunting. A little Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. A little bit of was it Boston? I think they were in Boston in that. Robin Williams is good. Patrick Murphy. Be More Stupid is the same guy that asked about XRP on TikTok live streams. Yeah, I don't know who Be More Stupid is, but welcome. Thank you for joining. GPURisers watching. I'm gonna do it. Do it. GPURisers. I'm working Tempe and I'm working Tempe and I'm gonna test and making content for them for the final release that's coming out soon. All right. Well, give me a heads up, King, before you release these things to all these people, because I always find out last. You gotta get me in before, King. You gotta get me in before. I actually just disassembled some of my node servers at my house. I had like a 5900X, 5700G, bunch of RAM, kind of dwindling some stuff out. I have a server rack in my garage that it's just like every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't even know it's on. I just don't know what it's doing. So I'm kind of been cleaning up stuff around there recently. Do you like apples? Yes, green apples. Good Will Hunting is a great movie. Yeah, it is. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. I sent those wires to you, by the way, this week. You'll be getting those soon. Yeah, it was a good movie. I saw like something, I think it was on like the Hot Wings show. I know I'm just ranting tonight. Thanks for joining me, guys. But it was like Matt Damon explaining why movies are such crap right now. And he made a really good point. He said that like the model for businesses, the model for movies was like, okay, we'll make this corny movie or this movie that like Good Will Hunting, right? Like we'll put this movie out there and it's like not going to do well at the box office. It'll do all right, but like they're not going to make their money there. What's going to happen is everyone's going to go, they're going to watch the movie and they're going to be like, wow, Robin Williams killed it. Ben Affleck killed it. And then everyone's like, this has to come out on, when this comes out on VHS and DVD, I'm buying it. And so their whole model was kind of based on that secondary part of it. Now there's no DVD. It's all streaming services that like kind of like, I guess you could say like use Spotify as like an example. Like artists complain about Spotify all the time. They're like, we make no money on it. And I think that happens a lot in the movie industry. So every movie that comes out, they're like, it has to be some like Michael Bay film or Mission Impossible or some Marvel movie. If it's a movie that's like Good Will Hunting that came out now, everyone just be like, nah, I'll just wait till Netflix has it. You know what I mean? Like I would go see it. I like love going to the theaters. I love movies. I love that stuff. But all these like what are they called? These all these studios need to make as much as humanly possible at the box office, and if not, then it's just like bad. New movie The Amateur looks amazing. I'll check it out, Yusuf. New movie The Amateur. Son of a Rabbit. Besides XRP and internet or ICP is the Internet Computer Protocol, right? Is that because I've seen that before too. Internet computer, is that what it is? ICP, Internet Computer. This one, how's this one doing over the year? 87%. Wow. It was doing a lot better. You know what I mean? It's down about 50%, but still 80% over the year, man. Dead Poet Society, Patrick Murphy. Yeah, that was good. Man, I miss Robin Williams. He can't, like, every movie he had. Missed Doubtfire was a little bit extravagant. I'm sure it would do, well nowadays, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, he's a good. Gone too soon. I got them today. Oh, nice bacon, eggs, and hash. I'm glad. Yeah, they are nice cables, right? Dave makes like really nice. That's the thing with Dave's cables, man. Like you got like when I first started working with Dave, I was like, he reached out with these cables, and I was kind of like, we worked a deal out. I would buy them wholesale from him, sell them through GPURisers. I just kept thinking, I'm like, it's cables. And then he sent me like samples of them, and that's when I was like, all my rigs need to have these on them. Because that's when they were like the wires were browning and everything. Ethereum the overclocks were not great on like 3080 Ti's and 3090s. Oh yeah, I remember these, not James. Did you get the window? Are you talking to Max? I got it. Windows install. I can send it if you want. No Max Supply sounds like Fiat. Yeah. They're great. I love them. I'm glad Bacon Eggs and Ash. They are next level. Yeah. Son of Ravage. Yeah, this poor boy was standing on the street offering his cables for food. I got better miner cables in my rig. Yeah, they do. He does make fantastic ones. I have them, or I did have them in all of my AI machines, but now, especially going to server cases, it's just 12 pins that I have. But I did have all of them. Like, I do have them in all my 2-card ones that I have. I finally found your channel. LOL, I've always bought your cables for my rigs. Yeah, I don't make the cables. But my co-host, Veteran Miner, he makes the cables. So check him out on YouTube, the Veteran Miner, or GPUcables.com, or the veteranminer.com. But yeah, he is usually a co-host. He's actually going to be hosting this show next week on his channel. So what do they say? Slap that notification bell. And we switch off, Steve meant. So I hosted every other week. He hosted every other week. That's kind of what we do. So, and we don't really have any specific topics. We kind of started the show as like, I have a retail company. He is a retail company. And so we gear a lot of things more towards, business, financials, that kind of thing. We don't go a whole lot into like crypto mining or what like the newest coin is or what's the most profitable. We kind of just look at it from like a 10,000 foot level. But we have been crypto mining for a while, so check him out. He's on YouTube as well. So, but yeah, crypto's been crazy. Let's see what Bitcoin's at. 89K. That's just crazy. Just crazy. It's up a modest 146%. A lot of organic growth this last year. I see Dennis Porter on Twitter is very happy recently. I was thinking of reaching out to him because he deals with like a lot of like politicians, and I think drafts like laws and stuff like that, right? And then like kind of pushes them to do it. Like, hey, your constituents will like this. So I was thinking of maybe reaching out to him because he did say if there's any like volunteers or something. So I was like, maybe I could do some like legal research stuff for the Satoshi Act. I don't know. I'll see how it is. But why not? You know what I mean? Like, you have to believe in certain causes and back them up. Mr. Yusuf, GPURisers, how about new server for multi GPU AI rigs? Yes, I do have or I'm not going to be producing them. But after the R8 with Octominer, it was a whole different level from a business and like inventory management, I guess. That was, I don't want to say overwhelming. It was just I didn't want to get that far into retail sales with that quantity, that dollar amount, and that like weight size, of these things. It was very difficult to manage it. What I personally should have done from the beginning with the R8s was put serial numbers on everything, to be able to more accurately manage everything instead of pushing them towards or pushing it as order numbers and stuff. It was just a lot. And the expertise to troubleshoot, I mean, I could troubleshoot Octominers, right? Like I could sit there until eventually it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, it's this or this, you know what I mean? But in the beginning, it was like, someone would come with some obscure issue, and it was like, I have no idea how to help you with it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where it was like, okay, if I can't help them with this complex issue, then like, I don't want to say why am I selling it, but like, I can't give the proper customer service for it. Whereas risers, splitter, like all that stuff, like, I knew like the back of my hand. I designed the risers and everything like that. So yeah. I'm sure Peter Schiff wants to tell everyone about gold still. Yeah. Triple Nickel, what's up, man? Welcome. You ever do an AI rig build stream? I miss open air rig type content. Not James. Yeah, no, I have not. I've not done an AI rig build stream. We do have a lot of AI builds in our data center for Terra. Unfortunately, a lot of the builds that we do there are we kind of keep it as like a, I don't want to say it's like a, you know, the builds are very custom that we do there, and we kind of hold that like within our company. But I should do it with like, you know, stuff like this or the other one that I have in my garage right now. It would be a fun stream. It would be like just a complete train wreck. So I think that, you know, I forgot what the term was, but it's like, it's my parents recently told me, my fiance, about this show. I always watch the Grand Tour, like Top Gear. I'm sure a lot of car dudes here. But Jeremy Clarkson made another show called Clarkson's Farms, and the whole show is just an utter train wreck of farming. Like everything is a problem, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's funny watching it because he just has a sense of humor about it. But that's the reason I'm saying it, is like, that's how I think an AI rig build stream would go with me, because every single time it's like I come into a new problem. Like yesterday I was super gluing stuff in it, and then I'm like, okay, well, I can super glue this. The IO plate doesn't fit, but that's okay because I can hammer the IO plate down or cut this part off of it and it will fit. And then you know, well, the cooler, the CPU cooler is like 3U and it's in 2U, but if I take this fan off and move it, it's just like, it's crazy, but hey, it works at the end of it, right? I should do an AI rig. I've been thinking about doing a Friday stream during the days, like during the day, not at night, where I'm doing like these projects, right? Like, because I mentioned it before when someone else asked, but like these other projects that I'm interested in, and kind of just like working with the chat while doing it. And that was always my idea, is like, why not live stream while learning this stuff, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to be an expert and like show you guys like, oh, this is how you know, build your own language model on a VM on a machine. But it's like, I think it'd be fun to have a live stream doing it together. You know what I mean? Building something like that. I'm working on a crypto related business, still writing the executive summary, trying to get funding. Interesting, Bacon Eggs Nash. If you want to share a little more about it, it's interesting. I feel like people would buy them like Octominer AI rigs. Yeah, I think people would, you know what I mean? But it's like, I got this one in, and I literally thought about like the Octominers, right, with GPURisers when I got this, because it was like a massive case. This thing's like heavy as hell, and it's in wood. Like, it's like a box that's like encased in like wood planks, and it was just I looked at that and I'm like, what a pain to ship that. Like, someone got this boxed up, put a bunch of bubble wrap, had to get styrofoam that custom fit all this stuff, and then they had to cut wood, put it all around it, and just hope to God FedEx doesn't just like drop this off the plane ramp, you know, when it's getting unloaded once, you know, out of China. And it's like that process of it that I just, like, I don't know. I think people would buy them, right? There's definitely a market, but I've always told myself, and I've told like the guys at Terra, like I would never be interested in doing, you know, items of that size again, but I wouldn't mind facilitating that under like the umbrella of Terra, and Terra kind of having more of a data center slash not just hobbyist style mining or AI, but more industrial scale. You know, kind of setting something up like that with Terra, where Terra could kind of manage it, but I could kind of set it up, right? Banks are suddenly crypto friendly for ventures all of a sudden, go figure. Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts, right? I mean, it's all fine and dandy. People talk about it in FTX, you know what I mean? So it's great. It is great, Kyle. James, that's even better. Scuffed AI rig build than inevitably troubleshoot stream. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should do it. Just everyone can watch it and laugh, because it's I was sitting there with a caliper yesterday. First I had to, of course, go to Lowe's to get another caliper, because the caliper that I had got smushed in the back of my tool chest. So that was part one. That was part one of the adventure. And then so I get it, and I'm trying to measure the threads on this. Realize the caliper is not the best way to measure the threads, right? So I'm trying to get it as close as possible. And then so I figured it out, right? I figured out, I'm like, okay, this is close. It has to be this. So I ordered the parts. They came in yesterday, and they weren't the right size. There was like this thread size is like some proprietary Chinese thread size or something. It's not metric. It's not standard. It's not an M4. It's not an M3. It's not anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna super glue this. More money. Coinbase and Robinhood. Pepe coin price prediction. This is, I don't know if, is that a bot? Are there bots on live streams? More money. Message deleted by Hawk Crypto Mining. Is that a, Mike, is that a bot? Do I have a bot on my stream? Wow. Thanks, Mike. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah. I'm friends with some whales. They give me tips. Pepe bag has been packed since April. What is... We'll look at this real quick, and then I'm probably gonna call. Oh, this is. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This coin is ranked 14th, and it has a market cap of $10 billion. Let me just pull up my stocks for a second. I will not like my stocks, but like my watch list. Let's just compare what Pepe coin is in market cap to just some company that we probably all have heard of, right? Or probably not. 10 billion is not that crazy market cap. Let's see. Market cap of, oh no, BlackBerry's 1.4 billion. Oh, let's do Spirit Airlines. That one was fun. They did great today. Spirit Airlines market cap's 143 billion. So it's actually going to be kind of difficult finding a market cap that's as high. Okay, Ford's market cap 44 billion. So Pepe coin is worth 1/4 what Ford is worth. That is crazy. See, it's stuff like this that like I hope everyone makes tons of money on it, right? Like I hope everyone makes as much money as possible. But there's no utility with this stuff. There's just no utility. And that's kind of why I've always been a Flux fanboy, right? Like there's utility for it. That's a big thing for me. Caspa, I don't know enough about Caspa, right? From my understanding, it's just a faster version of something else. But meme coins make millionaires. I mean, yeah, but people also, that's the thing is, the money's not just made out of anywhere. It's not like you're just printing coins and this person makes all this money. So that wealth is transferred from other people. So did you just say Spirit Airlines is worth more than... No, I'm sorry. No, Spirit Airlines is not worth more than Ford. Ford is worth 40 billion. Spirit Airlines is worth 140 million. It was worth 300 million at 4 p.m. yesterday. Robinhood put all coins back on the market to buy. Yeah, that's how you know it's a bull run. And oh no, bots top signal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I started seeing like these podcasts on Twitter, and it's like it's just like a group of people talking about like how you got to get in Bitcoin early because it's like a revolutionary thing, and how it's they just are clearly like they learned about this like, you know, a month ago, and I just watched this stuff and I'm like, I should just sell everything right now. You know what I mean? Like it's just, when you see stuff like that, it's like, God. But it's different now. It's different than it was in 2020. The halving was it in 2020? Yeah, the 2020. Then we had a halving, 2024. Every halving is different because the adoption is coming, or it has been here. So just everyone knows about Bitcoin now. Everyone. I think meme coins and communities can bring people into crypto. Then they learn and start to shift to utility. So we get new people and make some money. Yeah, it's true. I wonder if we'll be able to advertise crypto projects at sporting events and other large venues again. I'm sure. I mean, crypto.com is still like everywhere, aren't they? I see crypto.com everywhere. I'm surprised Coinbase isn't more. But yeah, I think we'll start seeing it. It's just these things got to take time to kind of die out. FTX kind of like crapped in everyone's cereal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning trading step by step. So far, my picks have worked good. Yeah, that's the thing with trading is like the markets. what's the term? I don't know. The markets will remain irrational longer than you will remain. I don't know. I don't know what the last thing is, but yeah, it's hard. I've dabbled with like trading, not cryptos, but like stocks, like day trading stocks. But I've kind of learned more just to see where the markets are going and kind of invest, right? Like my swing trades now are more like 6 month to 1 year plays. Like I think right now a big thing. I know someone very close to me that made a good return on Lumen. You know, I think I saw right when I saw it. I did not. I'm not practicing what I'm preaching here, but I think fiber companies have a lot of upside. I think energy companies are going to explode. I think nuclear companies are going to explode. I'm a huge fan of Oklo. Oklo is a nuclear fission, not fusion, nuclear fission company that reuses old nuclear waste and also does like micro reactors, I guess you could say. But they are backed by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, which is backed by Bill Gates, which is backed by one of the most powerful companies in the world. So I think nuclear is going to the next 10 years. That's going to be the play. So I'm have a good portion of jewels in energy. I have tons of orders I'm working on. That's good to hear, Mike. Yeah, I saw yesterday a good amount. We talked today about it, actually. It's good. All set. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Soul Dad, what's going on, man? We have 75 people watching now, 41 people on YouTube, 34 on X. Thank you, everyone on X. I don't know if people on X are commenting. I don't think I can see the comments on X. I got to talk to you about that, Hawk, because I've no idea. So if you're commenting on X and I'm not paying attention, or I don't see it. All I see are the YouTube ones. But welcome. Remain solvent is the ending of that quote. Yes, you got it, Soul Dad. Yeah. The markets will remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Yeah. So most of my money is in cash. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, that's not bad, Yusuf. You gotta wait. You gotta sit on the side, wait for some stuff. AKA fast reactors. A bunch have been in France for years. Yes, and I do think again with this administration, I do believe there's gonna be a lot of red tape cut for energy. I think in the next 4 years, the government is going to classify AI and compute and electrical infrastructure and everything. They're going to move that more towards a national security kind of thing. And once national security is written on anything, the government again is just like, how much this bolt is 60 grand. Can I have a million of them? So I think the red tape, because I know that the nuclear side, the Department of Nuclear, what is it called? I don't even know. The Department of Atomic. I don't know. One of you guys, I know one of you guys know. You guys are smarter than I am in the chat. But they deal with the Department of Energy, like as an atomic thing or whatever. But long story short, to get like these licenses, it takes like 10 years. It's like crazy. It's like way longer. Like these tech companies, you can't have like a startup and just get billions of dollars funded into you and just be like, oh yeah, now we're going to get the license and we're just going to chill for 10 years. You know what I mean? We have like, there's so much risk that can happen. There's going to be different presidents. There's going to be, all these different wars that might be ending or starting, or all these different, macro problems all across the world, that it's like 10 years to do it. Like, it's crazy. So I do think a good thing that will come in the next 4 years is red tape cut for that. And let's just cross our fingers we don't have another 3 Mile Island or something like that. You know what I mean? Let's put the nuclear reactors further. We'll put it in what state? I don't want to offend anyone. we'll put it we'll just put it in a barge off the coast. The new agency to cut inefficient government is named Doge. Yes, Department of Government Efficiency, I think. Remains sane. Department of Energy. Yeah, they have like an atomic version. There's I don't know. I read a lot into this. I got like through this whole, rabbit hole of like the nuclear stuff, and then I follow Sam Altman a lot. The guy's like, I think he's extremely intelligent on a business sense, but he He mixes it very well. He's also terrifies me. I think he might be an AI. Like I think he might be AGI, like artificial general intelligence. Like he might be like the first thing, and then either Bill Gates was like, all right, let's make him look like a human, and so they put him in there. If I hit my 5 million target, you're all going to get paid. I hope so, Yusuf. Again, you want to buy YouTube channel? Let me know. I'll have GPURisers 2, or I'll just call it Banana Man. It'll be Banana Man. Do you say any stocks associated with those small nuclear reactors besides Microsoft? I think Microsoft. I think all the FANG stocks and like any stocks that have kind of like any exposure to compute are of course going to do well, but Oklo is a nuclear company that's backed up by Sam Altman, who's the CEO of OpenAI, who is owned by Microsoft. So will Microsoft benefit from things like this? Yes, because their OpEx is probably going to be lower if they have an investment in a company that they have overhead that they're paying overhead for. You know what I mean? Like they'll get deals cut, so their OpEx is going to be lower than other companies like Google maybe, and then their all of that's going to take into account, with their EPS, price per share, all the other financials with the company, and it will help the stock, right? Google has their own investments too, all of them do, but I think going to the source with energy is going to be the real play in the next 4 years. That's what I'm at least. I don't want to say I'm betting on it, but I'm not like doing any options. I'm not doing calls. I'm not doing long calls, or I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just buying the stocks and holding it. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, yes, the NRC. I think that will I hope that that has a lot of red tape cut. Not just because I'm invested in it, hopefully, but I think nuclear is the way to go, right? Like it makes everyone happy, right? Like cheap energy, it's efficient energy, and it's also clean energy. So it's like, I know we've had all these setbacks, right? Like we've had all these reactors that had this issue or that issue, but I mean, like, look at the times. Like it was a long time ago. Like 2016 was a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to be in a Tesla doing full self-driving in 2016. Now, like, let's go. You know what I mean? But a lot changes. So, but 10 years to get a license just to get the materials for it, like that's a joke. Like I could probably get it on some sketchy Russian Instagram. I'm just saying I don't do that in case, I don't know if you, I do not buy plutonium on Instagram, YouTube. Nuclear reactors are all in Florida, surrounded by water and easy to cut off. Yeah. I think that I would not be afraid if one was, let's just say a couple 100 miles away. Let's keep it kind of probably 100 miles away. Let's just say that. Arc reactor from Iron Man. Yeah. Hey, I'm sure it'll be there one day. I think 100 years from now, they'll look at photos and they'll see like all the wires connecting the homes, and it'll be like looking at like corded phones for us. They'll just look, they'll be like, why they really have like electric, just like a giant plant, and it just have literally extension cords going everywhere. But I don't know what that tech will be. Maybe it'll be, I don't know if it'll be at the, I think that it'll be a mixture of things becoming more efficient and requiring less energy. And I think it'll be also a mixture of like solar becoming more, the output becoming a little bit higher, not a little bit, but like multiples higher, and things like that. So we'll see. Fusion and thorium is making a lot of progress as well. I don't know what's thorium. God, that's a cool word. Thorium. What is that? Thorium, radioactive chemical element. Okay, see, yeah. I guess you guys could spot the guy who never paid attention in chemistry. Radioactive chemical element of the actinoid series of the periodic table, atomic number 90, is a useful nuclear reactor fuel. Thorium was discovered in 1828 by Swedish chemists. It is silvery white but turns gray or black on exposure to air. 1828, and you find a nuclear. How do you know this? Like you just pick up a rock and you're like, this is thorium. You know what I mean? From sand and salt. Interesting. See, I love this stuff. I know we're not really talking about crypto, but This is what happens when Dave's not here. I get so sidetracked, but I love this stuff. Tesla coils wireless. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Travelers Travel. New Antminer BTC ASICs have integrated arc reactors to power them, or new 6090s. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I think it's going to be a mixture of a bunch of different things. I think it's going to be, you know, you also need to make it cheaper. You know, being able to make your whole roof full of solar panels in Florida should be, they offer incentives, right? Like you get tax incentives and stuff, but it's when you start looking at the actual like dollar amount it is, unless you're installing it yourself, right? Like ChumpChange installs his own solar, like the coolest shit ever. You know, it's if I could do that, I need to watch more videos. It is on my radar, but the roof tiles I have are like, they're not flat, like they're like the Spanish style. I don't know what they're called, but it would be a nightmare to drill into, so I'm not doing it. But I think like as these things get more efficient and more affordable, it would be good. But then you have lobbyists, right? Like these utility companies don't want that. Those lines that are connected to your house are like, that's how they make all their money, and they control it. You know, we have FP&L down here. We don't have an unregulated market. We don't have like different companies that supply power. It's like FP&L just tells you what your bill is. So you know, you can't just call them and say, hey, this is too much. I don't like this. I'm going to go to another company. You know what I mean? So they will lobby, and they have a lot of power, a lot of money, just like Big Pharma. But that's a whole nother. We'll have another stream for Big Pharma. But that's just another thing. You know, all these lobbyists that are out there that don't have our best interests, right? So that's why I need to sit there and keep complaining online. China building Thor reactors. They're very safe. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Thorium reactors. Yeah, I mean, look up companies. You know, whatever U.S. companies are doing it, especially in nuclear. I really do believe in the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of red tape cut, and I think a lot of things are going to be accelerated. I think it's going to fall under the branch of national security, and I think because of that, that's why it's going to things are going to be happening a lot quicker than they have been. Props to ChumpChange. I watched some of this guy's videos, ChumpChange, and like he builds the most beautiful stuff. Like I'm just like the solar barn that he's building. I don't know if he finished it yet, but God, it's just like perfect measurements and everything. And I'm just like sitting there like eating an Italian sub in front of my computer for lunch, and I'm watching this, and this guy's just outside like building structures, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, you know, like that meme where like the screen turns black in a commercial and you just like see your reflection in the mirror. Like that's like how I feel. But no, ChumpChange is doing such cool stuff. Such cool stuff. When Chump finishes trailer, I'm gonna pull up and hook off and drive. Yeah, that's yeah. He's a plumber. Yeah, I mean Chump's a bunch of stuff. He was at our data center in Melbourne, and man, we were complaining about something there. We were like, yeah, we just need an outlet. Like Lumen needs an outlet here or something. Like we need to wire it up. And he's like, oh, let's do it. And we're like, what do you mean, let's do it? He's just like, and next thing you know, Chump's like putting all this together, running wires, you know, stripping the wires, connecting it all up, and it's worked to this day. It's still there. I mean, he's just a doer, you know. Chump's great. But yeah. Awesome stuff, guys. Pepe coin is up. I would not advise buying Pepe coin, but maybe I don't know enough about it, right? Bitcoin, I think, is always good to DCA into. Buy a little bit of it. Can't hurt. Or it can. Who knows? No financial advice. I guess the financial advice is buy SPY ETF. Or, hey, buy an ETF for the energy sector. That would be a good one if you want a safe one, I think. It's definitely not going to go down. I know that. But I'll set a timer 4 years from now. Let's see how the energy stocks are doing. Chump does his own dentistry. Oh, Vinny, that's funny. But yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I know we went a little bit longer. We got 70 people watching. Again, 36 on X. Welcome, guys. 34 on YouTube. Thanks for watching tonight. Dave will be back next week. We will be on his channel, so make sure you subscribe to the Veteran Miner on YouTube. He changed his logo recently, so he's more. It's more personable. It's more like a personal touch, which looks good. I like it a lot. So go follow Dave. on the Veteran Miner on YouTube. Slap the bell that notifies you, and we will be on his channel next week. So it'll be fun. But congrats everyone on this market. Anyone who's been holding, this has been awesome. A lot of good things are going to be coming around. I always get kind of excited during the holiday season for crypto. Since 2016, it always seems like it's always been an exciting time. Not sure why, but it always around this time kind of gets exciting one way or the other, right? It's but having this kind of movement is great. It gives more insight into our industry, and this is what we love, right? That's why we're all watching, YouTube shows and YouTube videos and commenting with each other and everything. We're all in this community, so seeing this community thrive and these prices and the markets go up and everything it's fun. It's fun. So, but I appreciate it, guys. So thanks so much for watching. We will be on Dave's channel next week. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and happy Wednesday, guys. So have a great night, and we'll see you guys next time.